We are grabbing people off the floor, whether they're comfortable with it or not, to talk about important industry things that are impacting, whether it's construction. In this case, it's going to be about property management. We're joined with Lindsay from Castle Group. So thank you so much for taking the time to join us.
Thank you for grabbing me off the aisle. I appreciate that.
Which started as a conversation about being on our regularly airing show, which is every Thursday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, to just a spontaneous discussion about Castle. Talk to me about Castle. Tell me about how do you all differ from your competitors?
So I think for us at Castle Group, we really focus primarily on the service aspect. I think in this industry it can become a little redundant where, there's so many different firms and there's so many management companies out there, but do you have that personal relationship with your team outside of your management office? So at Castle we really permeate that concept of elevated level of service.
Yep.
We have values. We make sure that goes down to the site level. So whether you're talking to your manager or somebody in resident services, it's continuity. You feel that sense of, wow, my residents know, they're being listened to and they're being taken care of. So for us, for sure, it's service. In addition to that, I think the educational piece, like what you guys are doing right now, is wonderful. You're constantly putting out content that's relevant to the industry and ultimately to the board members. And so we're starting to really push forward in our content as well, our webinars, partnering with different experts in their field. So for us, it's really putting out the best that there is out there, as well as focusing on ourselves.
Well, if you weren't going to bring it up, I was going to bring it up because I think your marketing strategies are fantastic. They align very much with what we're trying to do and putting out a lot of educational content. It shouldn't be a secret about legislative changes. It shouldn't be a secret about what you should expect from your management company. That's not a secret. How you do it, well, that's a secret sauce, right? So that's really where the rubber meets the road, if you will. And you said elevated, right? And I love that idea of the elevated service. Talk to me a little about the elevated. What does that mean to Castle?
It's very nuanced, and sometimes we get lost in the day-to-day where just taking an extra step to ensure that whether your communication style with your residents is really listening to what they're saying, making sure that there's follow-through, that whatever they're bringing to the table has an actual action item behind that. So we really just try to take everything at the site level and also I messed this up.
You did fantastic. You were on a roll there. I was buying it. No, you're totally good. Don't worry about it. No one needs to be a pro at this stuff. You're providing really good, actionable information, and I think it's great. How can our audience find out more about Castle?
Go to castlegroup.com. There's a lot of information on our website, as well as Googling. We have reviews. We have a lot of different areas that we promote as well. So castlegroup.com.
So what brought you to the LBA Expo today?
So the LBA has been, of course, it's been around in Miami for a long time. I know a lot of our vendors that we deal with on a day-to-day basis are part of the LBA, and so just through word of mouth, I've always heard of it, and they do put on great events. And I wanted to just make sure that we were a part of this today. Whether we don't necessarily have a booth, but just making our presence known that we're here to support the Miami community. No,
it's fantastic, and you guys do, like I said before, incredible job marketing, promoting the idea of education, the idea of sharing information. I think it's very helpful. Even if you're not managing the property, these people need to be aware of what's going on that's impacting the decisions that they're making. And I just got off a panel discussion. I was jumping between a bunch of politicians talking about the changes from the legislation that are impacting the way the management companies are moving and changing everything else. So all really important information. Go check them out online. Thank you, Lindsay, so much for taking a few minutes to join us. It wasn't that scary, was it?
Live, Thank you.
Well, we'll polish it up. We'll get you in the studio a little bit, and we'll make sure that you guys continue to provide, or at least have another outlet. That's what it's all about. We want to have another outlet.
We're here to be of service to the community.
So thank you so much, Lindsay. Thanks for joining us. I'm going to wrap it up on that note, but continue to tune in right here live from the LBA Expo floor. We're going to be grabbing people just like Lindsay off the floor to talk about the industry, things that are changing, things that are happening. It's really great information. Again, thank you again.
So much.
All righty.